What's up, guys? Welcome to Last Week in the NFL, Week 14. It is our Week 14 recap. We are back. It was another, great week in the league, as I say every week, and a lot of good games. Our records went pretty well. I went 11-5, and as did you, as we only had one game different, and we split them. So I'm now at 130-77. You're 124-83. And honestly, they're both pretty good records.
Yeah.
I did some quick math before this. I'm about 62.5%. You're like 59.6. So, I mean, that's pretty good, especially considering we picked him at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But, moving on to this week specifically, as I said, only one game different. I'm not sure how many games different we'll have going down the stretch, but we'll see if it's hopefully more than two.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Bears beat the Cowboys. I predicted that. And then the Chiefs beat the Patriots, and you predicted that one.
Yep.
The Cowboys, the whole NFC East sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about that.
That was very apparent last night as well.
Yeah, because the Giants and the Eagles both stink. The Eagles won a game to stay on top, technically at 6-8 or whatever, 6-7, whatever they are now.
Something like that.
And then the Cowboys lost to the Bears. They stink. The Redskins officially got eliminated. The Redskins are officially done. But the NFC East is just a train wreck. So whatever on that one. And then obviously Chiefs, big upset over the Patriots. They're still 10-3. No one cares about the Patriots struggles. You know what I mean? They'll be fine.
Every time they lose more than 3 games, which they're at now, they're always like, "Oh, the Patriots, this is the year the Patriots are collapsing." It's like, dude, it's 3 losses. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. I'll tell you early, they're not. Titans got a huge win over the Raiders. Ryan Tannehill, talked about it last week. Maybe he's the GOAT now. I have no clue.
He's been on fire.
Maybe Ryan Tannehill is stepping up. And then, Ravens beat the Bills. That was a great game.
Yeah.
But moving into our games of the week, wow, there's a lot of good games this week.
Yeah,
but there's too many to talk about almost. But moving into our games of the week, Seahawks 12, Rams 28. This is obviously a big game because Seattle had just moved into the top of the West. They just moved into the 1 seed. They're trying to keep that. They're trying to, And then the Rams, on the other hand, are, with the Vikings losing last week, got a little bit closer. They just got to keep winning, stay within striking distance as we come down the stretch. And it was at home in prime time, and the Rams got it done.
Yep.
So, good for them. Jared Goff tried to lose the game. He threw a pick six, and he threw another pick. But other than those plays, he played very good. I mean, I will give him that. He threw for nearly 300 yards. He was back on track. He looked good. He was finding Higbee. He was finding Woods. But as I said, those picks still, though, geez, dude. Come on, Jared. The Seahawks didn't score an offensive touchdown, but they got handed one by Jared Goff.
Yeah.
So... in credit to this Rams defense, kind of going off that, Russell Wilson had a very pedestrian game. He had an okay completion percentage. Threw for 220. As I said, didn't throw a TD, and he threw a pick. So, they sacked him 5 times. So all credit to this Rams defense. They were able to corral him. The Rams kind of got up a little early on him. Seahawks couldn't maybe run the ball as much as they wanted to. And, as I said, it was a big win for the Rams. I think people were being a little too hard on the Rams. I talked about this with you, just off the show. I think the people this team was in the Super Bowl last year. Yeah. And they traded for Jalen. They added Jalen Ramsey this year. This team is still incredibly talented.
Oh, yeah.
Has Jared Goff looked worse this year? Yeah, he has. I mean, I can't tell you why. I don't know. You know what I mean? I have no clue.
Yeah.
But he has looked worse this year. But the Rams are still here. And how funny would it be? Or, I mean, maybe not funny, but if the Vikings choked us away. I mean, it looked like kind of a lock. Rams, Seahawks, the wild card spots are theirs. Or, whoever wins between the Seahawks and the 49ers. But now, the Rams are right there. So, the Vikings really got to play. You've really got to play well in the stretch.
That'd be such a huge blow to Kirk Cousins' legacy.
That would hurt him. Because, week 9, everyone was like, oh, Kirk Cousins may be the MVP. So... We'll see about that, but, huge win for the Rams.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Moving on to my game that wasn't expected, unfortunately. The Eagles and the Giants. This game, obviously, last night, it didn't go exactly how I expected just because of the circumstances with the Eagles having to come back and Eli playing and everything. But still pretty interesting game. We just talked about how the NFC East is hot garbage, which it proved last night. Eli came in, obviously, because Daniel Jones was hurt. Had a career record of 116 and 116, trying to get to 117, get positive total for his career. The Giants actually started out pretty hot. Eli had 2 deep touchdown throws to Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton's coming into his own.
17-3 at halftime.
Yeah. Punched him in the mouth, 17-3 at halftime. I was kind of surprised. I was at work, so I missed the first half. But, came back, and then the Giants started to be the Giants. They started choking. The weather started getting to them a little bit. Carson Wentz actually played pretty well, though. He threw for 325 on 33 of 50 passing and 2 touchdowns. Didn't turn the ball over.
50 passes.
Yeah, they threw the ball a lot with him. Eli and everybody just kind of fizzled out in the second half. Saquon still hasn't been able to get back to his usual ways.
Dude, how many yards does he have? Like 650?
Going into this game, he had 544.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
wow.
So very unlike
hurt,
him. But that's, still very unlike him. I think the offensive line really proved to show that they need a ton of help this offseason, dude. Nate Solder has just been a complete liability at left tackle. It's just the interior line's actually pretty solid, but just overall, they just can't open up any holes for Saquon. They can't block for Danny or Eli. There's just a lot that's going to have to be done. The Eagles, though, keep their playoff chances alive. They have to win out, and they play the Cowboys, the Redskins, and the Giants again. So it's very doable.
Yeah, they might not be technically leading the East right now, but they're at least tied for it.
Yeah.
So, the Eagles saved their season yesterday with that second half comeback, and they didn't deserve to. They should have lost this game. They looked like crap in the first half, and honestly, it was this slow, underwhelming comeback. It wasn't even it was like, oh, Carson Wentz caught fire in the second half, and the Eagles, stormed back versus the Giants. It was
gradual.
It was
from the second half kick to the
it was like,
last.
oh, okay, they scored a touchdown with 4 minutes left in the third. Oh, scored another touchdown with 10 minutes left in the fourth, and then scored the final one with not that much time left. So it was the Eagles. I don't really know what's wrong with them still. Obviously, they won last night, but it was an awful win. They were down by 2 scores to a 2-10 team at halftime. So, obviously, you got it was at home too. What were they? I don't know with the Eagles. I don't know what's wrong with the Eagles.
The Eagles are weird too.
They pulled out the win, and also one more side note: why was this the Monday night game at the beginning of the year anyway?
Yeah.
Who was like, oh, week 14. Pencil in that Eagles Giants game. We had Patriots Chiefs.
We did. Yeah.
We had no one knew the 49ers were going to be that good, but still Saints 49ers. You could have even I guess no one really thought the Ravens or Bills would be this good, but
you can argue that the Eagles weren't going to be this bad either.
Yeah, but it's just I feel like at worst we would have had a pretty good Eagles team versus a pretty bad Giants team, or at best. You know what I mean? So kind of a weird game to choose for Monday night. We all had to watch it. Having it beat Eli was better, though, because it was pretty funny to have Eli back.
Yeah, it was cool.
Even though his record's under 500.
Yeah.
I said, though, they got to start him against only the Dolphins for the rest of the year. Let him get the Dolphins, finish just even.
I agree.
Carry him off the field versus the Dolphins. Yeah. Don't let him go back on the field.
Get another QB to go in if Danny's not healthy by then. But, they're in the driver's seat for Chase Young, though, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, you probably weren't super mad about the loss. But going into my game that did not go as expected, we have Broncos 38, Texans 24, and I'm all on the Drew Lock hype train. I'm on it. He was my QB3 before the draft, even ahead of your guy Daniel Jones. I was excited that he finally got his shot. I was wondering why the Broncos hadn't started him earlier, but he was on IR, I guess. So. I was really happy to see him get his shot. He played pretty good in his first game, and I was like, oh, okay, that was nice, he played the Chargers, all right, whatever. But now he comes out versus the Texans and he kind of shreds them. They go up 21-0 in the first half. One of them was a defensive touchdown, but still, they go up 21-0. They pour it on a little more. It's 31-3 at halftime. They're the team that beat the Patriots last week. They are up on 31-3 at halftime. As the Broncos is this pretty bad team that will probably have a top 10 pick. So they're up. Then they come out in the second half. They scored another touchdown. It's 38-3. They're just they destroyed the Texans. They absolutely destroyed them. Texans obviously ended up scoring 21 straight garbage time touchdowns to make the game look like it was competitive. To make it look like it was a 14-point game, but. Really what happened was that the Broncos came out, they punched them in the mouth, and the Texans couldn't recover. Drew Lock went 22 of 27 for 309, 3 TDs, and a pick.
That's ridiculous.
Obviously, if he...
Was that second start?
Yes, second career start. And if he didn't have the pick, it would be it would be an almost perfect stat line.
Yeah.
It would be like very close to perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, I don't really know if this is going to continue, if what's going to happen here. I thought he'd be pretty good. I didn't think he would come out like this. And also, I am kind of scared though. It could be like a Kyle Allen effect.
I was literally just going to bring
he
it
comes
up,
out, he tears it up for like 3 or so games. People are like, this dude actually isn't that good.
Yeah.
Like,
it's because they don't see this kid all year. They have all this film
Yeah.
with a different quarterback, and then a different guy comes in. Maybe they run some different plays to fit him, and then after a couple weeks of tearing it up, they're like, okay, we figured it out.
Yeah, there we go. This kid's not. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he had a great game, so let's just appreciate it while it's here, because we know what will likely happen.
Yeah.
And also, one last thing, Noah Fant, dude's a monster.
He is.
He looks like not George Kittle, but like mini George Kittle.
Yeah.
I don't like when he catches it and he starts sprinting. I would not want to tackle that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is gigantic and he's really fast.
Yeah.
So
those Iowa tight ends, man.
Yeah, that's true. When I said that, I wasn't even thinking about that. Like, that is, he had 4 catches for 113 though. Like, he goes down like the seam and he catches it, and all the safeties are like, oh my gosh, I actually have to tackle this guy now. But yeah, Texans, I don't know what to make of them now. As a weird, the top of the AFC besides the Ravens is weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like any of them could take out any of them. So we'll see about. We just have to wait and see on the Texans, I guess, because I have no clue.
Moving on to my game that didn't go as expected. The 49ers and Saints game. The 49ers won that 46-45, if anybody didn't know. This was definitely one of the crazier, if not the craziest game I've seen all year. Just in terms of both teams, both offenses really lighting up both of the scoreboards with huge plays, high scoring. There's 2 turnovers overall, but I mean, late game dramatics, of course.
Yeah,
Jimmy G had that huge throw to Kittle that went like 30 yards. I bet on this game, so I wasn't very happy about it. But I bet Saints to just win it, and that 4th down play really pissed me off. But this game really had the energy of like a conference championship game, it felt like. And I mean, for all we know, it could end up being the championship game later down the line.
I would love a rematch.
I would love a rematch of this too, because I mean, you had once again the Saints kind of started getting screwed by the refs. You could see a couple plays, which
funny.
Doesn't surprise me at all. But Jimmy G actually came out and played a really good game. He threw for 349 on 26 of 35 throwing, and he had 4 touchdowns and a pick. While Drew threw 29 of 40 for 349 and 5 touchdowns, which was absurd against this 49ers
I believe
defense.
he rushed for another one too.
Yeah, I think he did too. So, I mean,
Jeez.
Drew just absolutely torched this defense, which hasn't given up many points at all season.
Yeah.
Which I think is just absolutely mind-boggling. Because this defensive line, especially, is just amazing. That second, Richard Sherman got a little banged up though throughout the game.
Which would not be good for them.
No, it would not be
Corner's
good for
probably
them.
the worst position on that defense.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think he ended up being okay, but Michael Thomas still was torching everybody. Had another great day, 134 on 11 catches, and had himself a touchdown as well. He's definitely proved to be worth every penny of that contract.
He's on pace to break records.
He's ridiculous. The 49ers, though, had a really good day running the ball like usual. They ran for 162, set up a couple big plays in play action with Jimmy G hitting Emmanuel Sanders deep on that touchdown throw. But this puts the 49ers in the first place in the NFC, which is obviously good because now they have home field advantage along with a bye. This drops the Saints down to the 3 seed now behind the Packers. They're both sitting at 10-3, so the Saints have to win out and hope that the Packers lose one, and they should be right back at the 2 seed.
Yeah, no, so obviously this definitely felt like a playoff recap, and preview, and I mentioned last week how the Rams-49ers game could have been like our Chiefs-Rams game from last year, but I think this was more of that game where,
this was definitely it.
Where it was just like, I wish I could watch that game again, like as soon as it ends, you know what I mean, where it's just like, that was just, some great, that's just some great football. Like that, like everyone used to love like the 9-3 like slugfests where, it's the defenses. This is our game now of that.
Yeah,
Both teams score 50 and and it just like, it's almost like once they get going, they can't stop. Because the 49ers defense is so good. Like how I don't understand how they could let this happen just over and over and over.
I was thinking if anything this was going to be a lower scoring game because of their defense.
And the Saints defense isn't bad either.
No, they're really not. But I mean, it was just really crazy because Jimmy leads them down the field, scores with not much time left, maybe like under 2 minutes, somewhere around there. Drew comes back, leads them all the way down the field, gets them that touchdown to put them up 1 point. And then,
right back down.
The field goal coming right back down. Yeah,
where's the ball last? And that's what it came down to.
Yeah, crazy game, but
ridiculous game.
Yeah.
But moving on to our betting results. You did not pick this game as one of your betting picks, but you did say you bet on it and lost.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, okay week for both of us. I avoided a loss for a second straight week. Went 1-0-1, but I'm still mad about the push because the Colts. Oh, Colts! First off, they killed their season. They're done. Just get the Colts out of here. Jacoby. I mean, they can always hang back on the Andrew Luck retired, but this team should have been better than what they were. I don't understand what happened, but pretty much. I talked on the show about how Jameis Winston was going to throw a bunch of picks, and I thought the Colts would win. He did throw a bunch of picks, but he also threw a bunch of touchdowns. Yeah. So he threw 3 picks. The Colts jumped out to a 10-0 lead off 2 of those picks. They ended up, I think they led by double digits 3 separate times in this game, where they were up by 10, they were up by 10, and they were up by 14 at 3 separate points in this game. And they still let the Buccaneers score the final 17 points so they could lose.
Oh, yeah. The Colts were up the whole time.
The Colts were winning 10-0, 20-10, and I don't even know what the other one was, but they were up by 14 at some point too. Before letting them score 17 unanswered, they lost by 3. I picked Colts plus 3, so I did get the push, but just what an infuriating push to Jameis Winston. You let Jameis Winston lead a game-winning drive for a touchdown to beat you.
Right.
So the Colts are dead, and they deserve to be dead. But then going to the other game, the Steelers. I said that they'd keep this a little closer than I wanted them to, and they held true to that. They got up 10-0, let the Cardinals come back 10-10, 13-10 at halftime, back and forth. Kyler had a drive to win the game at the end, down by 6, couple minutes left, threw a pick on the 4th play to Joe Hayden, his second of the game. So Steelers covered, not easily, but I never felt like they were going to lose. I don't think they ever trailed in this game. Maybe. Yeah. I don't think they did. Pretty good game for the Steelers. I was happy they won. Devlin Hodges, I love you. That's it.
I love you. Moving on to my betting picks. I went 1-1 again this week. Sitting at 14-14 overall. I was positive for the entire year. Had a little skid. Got back to even. So now we're gonna hopefully go 2-0 next week.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Get a little distance from that 500 record, but. The one that I won this week was Chiefs plus 3 at the Patriots. I talked about in the preview about how I was pretty confident that they were going to cover this and how I actually picked the Chiefs to win this game, and they ended up winning. I don't know. I really can't explain it other than I had a gut feeling to pick the Chiefs, and that's about what I stuck with, and it paid out for me there.
Mahomes' first win over Brady.
Yeah, Mahomes' first win over Brady.
1-2 now.
It was in Foxborough, which is even more surprising. I was just kind of thinking with the way that Tom Brady got frustrated last week and how the receivers were playing that it might be able to transfer into next week, because I wasn't sure if that was something you could fix in a week, no matter who you really are. And that was kind of the case. But the game that I ended up losing, I bet the Packers minus 12.5 versus the Redskins. I figured since the Redskins got blown out last week, I was like, this can definitely happen. Or not last week. The Packers blew out the Giants last week, sorry. I was like, this can happen. They're both trash NFC East teams. And they were covering pretty much the entire game. And then Dwayne Haskins came through that touchdown pass at the end of the game to not cover. So
pretty fun.
Thanks a lot for that.
At least it was to Terry, though.
Yeah, at least it was to,
At least it was a Dwayne to Terry. We can be okay with that.
We can be kind of okay with that. But, that's kind of just how that game went for me.
As you said, my betting record's gotten a little better recently. I'm definitely getting better as the season goes. So hopefully we finish this strong. But for our For You losers, my guy is going to be CeeDee Lamb. Any team in the top 10 that wants a wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb is officially on your board now. Yeah. I would hope before this year, he came in, kind of as a consensus first round grade, I would assume. A lot of people think he'd go somewhere in that first round. But with the season he's put together, he's definitely in that top 15, top 10. And he's made more. I feel like I haven't heard from Jerry Jeudy or something. You know what I mean? I feel like I haven't heard from this year. Whereas CeeDee Lamb, every week I see a highlight.
There's always some huge 25+ yard plays.
And it happened in this game. He had 8 catches for 173. That included a 71-yard catch where I think he took about a 5-yard slant, made a guy miss, and just took off down the sidelines. Yeah. Or not a 5-yard slant, 5-yard out, and just took off down the sidelines. So he's explosive, he's fast, he has great hands, great route runner. He seems like the complete package at wide receiver. It's so hard to tackle him. People don't he literally he does the thing where the guys just go he does the Lamar Jackson where the guys just go sliding by because they're running full speed.
Yeah.
And he just stops on a dime. So CeeDee Lamb's a beast. He's a big reason they beat Baylor. It was a very close game. And his quarterback also Jalen Hurts. He'll be drafted at some point, so we'll see where he ends up going. But as I said, CeeDee Lamb, any team, first round, you need a wide receiver. Trust me, you want CeeDee.
Kind of moving on to my guy for you losers. Ohio State's running back J.K. Dobbins had another huge game last week against Wisconsin. 33 carries for 172 and a touchdown. 172, 170-ish seems to be his sweet spot for some reason. He's been hitting the 160s, 170s the last 6 weeks in a row, feels like.
When you said that stat line, I was like, did you read his stat line from last week on accident?
Yeah, no, I didn't think he'd put up that much initially too because Ohio State struggled heavily in the first half against Wisconsin. They were down, 21-3 or no, 14-3, something like that.
I believe so.
And, Ohio State was just struggling just in every facet of the game. Came out second half, made those adjustments that we seem to be known for. Came out and just punched them straight in the mouth. Scored 24 unanswered, I believe. Was that it? 24-27?
I believe so.
Obviously ended up getting the win against Wisconsin. But J.K. Dobbins is really just an everything back. He reminds me a lot build-wise of, Doug Martin. A muscle hamster type build, short, stocky dude. You can't really bring him down easily. You run so hard. He's an elusive back, surprisingly, and he can catch the ball. He's a good route runner out of the backfield, catches a lot of balls out the backfield. So, if you're looking for a guy in the late first round, early second round, he'll definitely be there. I'd be surprised if he went earlier than the late first, though.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. First off, it was 27 unanswered. Oh, my God. Ohio State 27, Wisconsin 0 in the second half.
Okay, so 21-3 halftime. So big hole they dug themselves out of there.
Yeah, 21-7, but yes.
Or 7, sorry.
Yeah, but point is, J.K. Dobbins. I think when it comes to this draft that's coming up, it's going to be just what kind of runner do you want? Do you want the Dobbins type of runner, or do you want the ETN type of runner? You know what I mean? Do you want the absolute home run hitter, ETN, DeAndre Swift, or do you want the guy that you hand it to 25 yards or 25 times a game and nobody wants to tackle him, the Jonathan Taylor, the Dobbins? So I think that will really depend on when we come to the top of the running backs.
Oh yeah,
just kind of what you want, if you know what I mean.
And I feel 33 carries is so much, even for a guy in college too.
Yeah,
and he's just been absolutely their kickstand. Just to lean on when stuff's getting hard for Justin, because Justin obviously hasn't been completely healthy either the last week or so with that MCL. So,
but with that, guys, that's gonna be it. A little bit longer show this week. Didn't even notice until right now, so it's whatever.
Happens.
Be sure to like and subscribe. Last second, shout out to Ohio State basketball, number 3 in the nation, and shout out to Deontay Johnson because I forgot to mention him in the Steelers section. He went off.
He went off.
See you guys next week.